What's going on, everybody? How are you? It is Thursday night, and that means it is time for the Small Business Spotlight. Before we get going with tonight's episode, I do want to send a big shout out, a big thank you to everybody who joined us last night for our first Wednesday night digital game night. We had a blast. It was such a good time. Thank you, Chrissy, for co-hosting with me and just shooting the shit. It was a lot of fun to actually have somebody on like actually to be able to talk to while doing the games and everything. Monday night was a lot of fun as well. Thank you to the Orlando Curling Club members that came and joined us. Thank you to new friends that were friends of friends that came and joined the party. So every Monday and Wednesday night, we're going to be doing that for the foreseeable future. Come on down and check us out right here on YouTube, right here on Twitch. If you're watching on Facebook, we are not streaming on Facebook. So do me a huge favor and head over to our Twitch and YouTube channels, twitch.tv/Bears in the City and youtube.com/The Bears in the City. And subscribe and follow us on those platforms. And you'll get to watch all of the fun and get to play along. So it is Thursday night. It is the Small Business Spotlight. I'm excited to have this next person on. He has taken the time and the opportunity for when a lot of us have been kind of not sure what to do or how to kind of advance through all of this pandemic, all of this craziness. And he has taken to his creativity and turned it into a business, Designs by Horus. So I'm excited to bring on as my guest today. This is Horus Adonis from Orlando, Florida. What's up, Horus? How are you?
Good, good. How are you, Pat?
I am doing very well, actually. Today's been
Good.
a really good day. I have a new haircut, and
Looks fresh.
and
Good.
I'm feeling fantastic after a fun game night last night. How are things going down in Orlando?
Not too shabby. We're missing you down here.
Aw, I miss everybody down there. I was really hoping that we would have gotten all of this under control,
Mhm.
so that way, I could come back and visit and have a proper going away party, which I didn't get to have. And now it looks like it might be a little bit before that happens, but
Right. Yeah.
I,
I don't know. It's the
I,
best time to come back.
as much as I miss everybody, I am perfectly okay staying up here for a little bit longer
Mhm.
before I come and visit. But as long as all of my friends down there are healthy, that's the biggest thing for me. I say this all the time, but please just be careful, be
Oh,
safe.
absolutely.
Yeah, be wash your hands, wear your masks, do all the
Mhm.
fun stuff that are thinking about everybody else and
Mhm.
not thinking about just yourselves. I see
Right.
y'all people out there. I see y'all out there. But yeah, so tell me. I actually don't know as much about your business, so this is kind of fun because I get to learn
Sure.
about it with the viewers as well. So I've seen some of your work, and it's really fucking awesome. So that's the first thing. Like, great job, great job.
Thanks. I appreciate
Uh,
it.
but how did this come about? How did you decide to turn this lull in being able to do outside stuff into being creative and turning it into a little business?
Sure. It's actually pretty funny. I never intended to turn this into a business. It was very sporadic. So I've always wanted to learn how to sew and get into cosplay and just get involved in going to cons and stuff like that. And I thought, oh, this is my opportunity. I have a little extra money. Let me go buy a sewing machine. And right before all of this happened, I bought a sewing machine and I got started with a couple of things. I made some pillows. Like, I learned everything straight out of YouTube and I Googled it and I did my research. I asked questions from people who were pretty familiar with the sewing machine. And it started with one thing. Like, I was like, I made actually, what's funny is the very first thing I ever made, if you check out my Etsy, I made a bear paw. And I was just like, I'm going to start with the most difficult thing because I'm a difficult person. Um, it was actually two sizes too small, but I was very proud of it. I was very happy with it. And I kind of showcased it on Facebook. And lo and behold, I had someone reach out and say, "That's amazing. Did you make that yourself?" And I said, "Yeah." And none other than Beronce was the one that reached out and said, "Hey, that's really cute. Can you make something for me?" And I said, "I don't know. I haven't really made anything for myself." And she threw a curveball and said, "Well, I want can you make me like ears and maybe a tail and maybe like a bow tie?" And I said, "Well, let's see what I can come up with." So before I made anything for her, I did some trial and errors, and I made some things for some friends for like super cheap just to help me pay for the fabric material. And she really like pushed me to like get creative and just go wild with it, and I did. And I sent it to her. She took some pictures. She displayed it, and people loved it and went crazy over it. Now the timing of this couldn't have been more perfect because the first month of me being furloughed from my full-time job, uh, as along with most other people, we weren't getting our unemployment checks. So I said, I need money. I need to pay my bills. So I talked about it more on Facebook and on Instagram, and just mentioned it and just like showcased it more and said, "Hey, you guys, I'm trying to, pay my bills. Does anybody want some paws? Does anybody want a bear hat? Like a nice, cute little flat bill with some bear ears on them." And I got some customers straight out of that, and that started paying for my bills. I was so excited about it. And then my roommate asked, he said, "Hey, these masks that I'm seeing everywhere, they're so uncomfortable. Do you think you can come up with one?" And I did. Through trial and error, I went through 4 different designs, and then I came up with the mask design that I have today, where it's adjustable, it's washable, and I just showcased. I didn't expect anything of it. I just showcased it, and I was like, "Oh, look what I made!" All this cute little fancy mask. And then people were reaching out to me, saying, like, "How much are you charging? Is it CDC certified?" And all this good stuff. And Crew Health reached out, and I helped them out with some masks as well. For a cost, because they wanted to support my business as well. And then they helped me kind of discuss it amongst other people. And Beronce, of course, she's my number one fan. She always comes to me and pushes me to make something new and exciting. Another really fun thing I made too was I came up. She asked me, like, "I love your mask. Can you make something like this?" Now this mask that she showed me was outrageous, big bow and frillers and like sparkly and shiny. I was like, "I can try." So I came up with something similar, and she loved it, and she showcased it to her friends, and then I sold some to them, and then from there it kind of just flourished. I never expected anything to come of it, and everyone kept telling me, "You need to organize yourself. Like, where can I see your stuff? Where can you should make an Etsy or an Instagram or something." And that's kind of how it went from there.
That's awesome. And
Yeah.
at the same time, we can turn around and blame Beronce for it.
Beronce, yeah, exactly. Again, my number one fan. I love her so much.
I, that tired old whore. Oh no, sorry, that's Doug Bowser, who's the tired old whore. So I'm sorry, I'm getting my Orlando people confused again. No, and it's funny. I saw the giant bow mask thing. Like, I know it's a take on something else, but I'm so horribly behind on pop culture. I'm not the one who's like, what celebrity is doing this or whatever. Like, legit, I'm just like, please stop inundating me with things. And then I just saw that, and I was like, okay, that's right up her alley. And if you want to check out the stuff, dear viewing audience, Horus's Designs by Horus shop, Etsy shop, there's the link right there. So make sure to check it out, because there are a lot of fun things. I love that bear paws were the first thing that you made. Yeah. Because in your picture, you're wearing the bear paws, and it just makes me think of my oven mitts. Because I've got the bear paw oven mitts. And I think the last time that I saw you was at Bear Bust, when you were a prop for Beronce during one of her performances.
Yes, I was in my full pup gear, and she threw me around, and I was her little slave boy, and they loved it. Like, people loved it so much, we did it again over at Southern Nights Tampa.
Oh, look at that. I love it. But you saw it at Bear Bus first. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
We love our Southern Nights family. That's awesome. I love that y'all do so much with Southern in Tampa and everything. I've only been to Southern Nights Tampa once,
Mhm.
and it was after a Taylor Swift concert, and it was like on a Tuesday night when nothing was going on, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll
Yeah.
go have a drink, and, and then I left. But no, that's awesome. So, and if you are on the social medias, go check out Designs by Horus on Instagram at designs.by.horus.
Yep.
So, what has been your favorite thing to make? And I know that you do a lot of custom. And I was checking out your page. I saw like the different color options and you've like the different materials and everything.
Sure.
But what has been your favorite thing that either you made for yourself or that somebody's ordered from
Sure,
you?
sure. Well, uh, I personally love making the paws because I have like they have evolved so much. Like I've come to the point where I added squeakers to the palms, and I know it's crazy. And then I started adding claws. The claws I make myself, by clay, and I bake them, and I E6000 on them. Like it's so much fun, and people ask me for like ridiculous colors, like can you make one side another, and da da da, and um, it was all a process. Like I had to go through 8 paws to make one good one. Like it was not
Wow.
easy. The tips of my fingers, I'm losing all sensation. Um, again, I taught myself all of this at the beginning of April, like around the time, or actually it was around mid March, and I just spent like a full straight month every single day. I told myself I was going to make at least one thing and get better at it. And what's funny too is that everyone told me you're going in, like you started in the hardest thing that you could possibly do. You're playing with faux fur, you're playing with faux leather, you're making like gloves. Like those are one of the most difficult things to make. It's like, well, I mean, I didn't really ask for guidance, so I probably should have. But it made it easier for me to make other things. Like I started making chew toys and then making a mask. It made it a lot easier to get creative and come up with new designs and stuff like that. But well, when I say creative, I'm actually not the most creative person. All of the things that I've made have come from ideas from other people. They say, "Can you make this?" And I said, "Let me give it a shot." So I play with it and then I tweak it, and then again, it takes me 6, 7, 8, 10 tries before I can figure out exactly what I personally love. So
Yeah, but I mean, it's. I wouldn't say that you're not creative. I mean, it takes a lot of ingenuity and creativity to be able to even want to teach yourself all of that. And I mean, in a lot of what I've done, especially for Bears in the City, I've done the same thing in the respect of if I'm not sure on how to do something in Adobe Illustrator or whatnot,
sure.
let's go to YouTube because I'm sure that there's an 8-year-old out
Yep.
there that's done a how-to video. I'm a 38-year-old man getting, watching an 8-year-old or a 10-year-old's, how-to video. So
Yep, that was
I,
me. That was me. I spent like 4 or 5 days straight before I even started making anything. I was like watching nothing but videos. How do I even turn on my sewing machine?
I love it. I love the fact that, like, I know that Wes in Orlando
Yeah,
went
he's
out and bought
great.
another sewing machine. It's like it's been so great to see people out there that are like, okay, well, let's go ahead and let's use this in such a way. And I mean, I moved like 2 weeks into like the big shutdown of everything. At the end of March, I left, and then waited a month once I got up here to Chicago for my stuff, and it was like it was the most frustrating time because I didn't have that outlet because I didn't have my stuff. It was on very limited resources. So I commend you and people like you, and that's why I started doing this was to showcase the talents and the things that people are doing because it's well documented how I feel about the way that our government, both federally and statewide, have failed us all during this pandemic.
Right.
But to see people lift themselves up and elevate themselves doing stuff like this is fantastic, and that's why I think people should know about it, and that's why people should really take the time to support small businesses, local businesses,
Sure.
and for our community, gay owned and operated or LGBTQIA owned and operated businesses. it's fantastic, and seeing the quality and seeing the commitment that people like you put into the work is fantastic. And while we're chatting, I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to find that Beyoncé picture, because I think that needs to be shown. And if Beyoncé isn't watching, girl, where you at? And the good thing about this is that you're able to actually, when we do these, you don't have to watch live. For those of you watching live, hi. And if you have questions, by all means, feel free to ask them in the comments. I get all the stuff here from all of the different avenues. So if you have questions, ask, and I'll ask Horus, and we'll answer anything that we can reasonably.
Sure. Yeah.
Reasonably.
Reasonably.
So what's the average cost for stuff that you make, like
Sure.
let's say the paws, or like the hats with the ears and that kind of, asking for potentially a friend that's also on this video call and is me.
Sure. It varies, but I've averaged the hats out being just like if it's a simple design hat and just the bare ears, or I've slowly coming into like pup ears and also wolf ears. I'm still like working the kinks on that, but I've had a couple of guinea pigs on that, and so far they've enjoyed them. But
Nice.
those are $25, and
Okay.
that doesn't include shipping and handling, but I try to get it as cost effective as possible. The paws, which are one of my more popular things that I have, those are about $75 unless you request like a specialty fur that costs a little bit more. And again, like that includes like if you want squeakers, if you want claws, like that's all included in the price. And then the masks, which is another popular item I have. I actually have an example right here. So this is reversible too. So as you can see, I'm a Disney fan. Disney fan.
I couldn't tell.
But it is reversible. It's washable. It's 3 layers. It's 2 layers of 100% cotton and 1 layer of fusible interfacing in the center to give you that additional protection. And it's adjustable. And these are only $10. So
Oh, that's awesome.
yeah, the reason why I wanted to make these a little bit more cost effective was I wanted to at least do my little part that I can to help people that want something a little bit more comfortable and don't want to spend an arm and a leg. Even for the local Orlando peeps, where those are my number one customers, I offer them to just come pick them up so they don't have to pay for shipping and handling, which is kind of nice.
No, that's awesome. That makes a lot of sense, because you try to find the ways to be able to make it as
Sure.
as reasonable for people,
Yeah.
but at the same time being able to make a bit of a profit, because that is your time and your effort and the materials and everything. So that's at no point in time should anybody ever be like, this is too much. Like,
Oh, right.
if they do, then just smack them around. Not right now, because you can't get within 6 feet and you don't want to be touching nobody. But
Get a yardstick, smack them around.
right, this is where that 10-foot pole that everybody used to talk about comes in very handy.
Yeah, or for those boosters out there, those nice good whips. That's the
Well, I can't find that Beyoncé picture, but I will share on the screen. I'm on your page right now, so that way people can get a look at this lovely hat right here. That's adorable. Is that one of those the wolf ears?
Yeah, those are wolf ears.
Love it. Love it.
They're bendable, and I actually, for another pup, they requested like a set of ears, but instead of using faux fur, using just fabric with a cute design on it. And I figured out a way. It's my first time doing it, but I'm still kind of working on it. I managed to make squeakers in them. I managed to make the ears squeak as well. But it gets a little tricky when you're adding wire in there to give them that bendable kind of flexibility, and then you have the foam inside of it. But again, it's all trial and error, and just figuring out the best way that the ears look cute but can also sound cute.
I love it. And if you're watching and you're like, wait a minute, I like this idea, but I'm not sure. Maybe you could do this. You can always email Horus at
Yeah.
designsbyhorus@outlook.com right on your screen.
Hmm.
Ask, find out. You never
Yeah.
know. You never know until
Absolutely.
you ask.
Right. I had one customer just ask, I have a certain hat that I want to have ears put on. Can I send it to you and make the ears? And you put the ears on them? And I said, yeah, of course. Again, like this is all very new. I've only made my Etsy maybe a month ago, maybe a little over a month ago. And I made the Instagram only like a week ago. And a lot of these ideas come from people asking questions and saying, is this something you can do? Is this something we can work with? And that's kind of how my whole little business came to be, is just people asking questions and kind of modifying what I have and just working with what we got. So
That's
um,
awesome. I
yeah.
mean, it's great to see. It's great to see people turn what could otherwise be, and what is for a lot of people a very difficult time,
Mhm.
and a very tough time, because whether it's unemployment and still dealing with trying to deal with the government and getting checks, or people not getting these things, the funds that should be there. So to see people turn around and be able to take that and thrive and grow and thrive from it is probably one of the best things that I've seen come out of all of this. And
Right.
that's one of the best parts about our community. There are a lot of shortcomings, obviously, but to see so many talented people really kind of just step up and then have support. Like you were talking about, Bearante being, your number one supporter. But to see like all of these people that I know within the community kind of band together and build each other up
Right.
and lift each other up
Right.
during all of
Absolutely.
this, because
Absolutely.
a lot of times it gets down to just being like we a lot of times people feel like there's only enough, I'll say, cake for the meme that's
Hmm.
going around right now. Which took me the longest time. It took me until somebody on Twitter was like, "What is all of this cake like talk about?" And the best part is that he's actually a cake maker, and he was on the Great British Bake Off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was like, "What is going on?" He's like, "I feel like I should know about this." And then somebody posted in response like the 5-minute video of
Hmm.
like, "These are all cake." And I
Yep.
was like, "Oh, gotcha. Okay, makes sense." But people tend to think that there's only so much goodness or room or whatever that they have to kind of put other people down in order to make themselves better, or to do better
Sure.
for themselves. And at this point, like, I love the fact that so many different people in Orlando, you're here in Chicago with me, like, are helping each other out and really
Sure.
kind of trying to lift each other up through all of this. So it's great to see that kind of stuff happen. So
Hmm.
it's and shout out to Jaden. Jaden was the person that when I thought about doing the show back
Hmm.
at this point, like 2 months ago, or
Yeah.
however long it's been. I put out a call and was like, "Hey, if you have a small business,
Sure.
like, hit me up." And Jaden was like, "I'm on it," and he was just like,
Yep.
10 different people that he messaged, and you were one of them. Adam Noreen was another one. Gary Wasden, and I'm kind of cycling through between the people that I had already known and had an idea of getting on the show, and the people that he had suggested. And I'm like, okay, this is great. Like, it's just fun to be able to get to sit and chat. One, it's fun to get and sit
Right.
and chat with people
Yeah.
anyway, because I don't get to see many
Yeah.
people. It's usually me and the door people that work here,
Sure.
and the 4 times a day that I take my pup out to go for a walk. So it's nice to get to chat with people. It's nice to really kind of get to spend some time, as the name of the show suggests, and to spotlight people that are doing awesome things. So it's just fun to see that. And honestly, like, I'm a sucker for like the kind of stuff that you're doing. And we have a friend here, friend of Jaden's as well, Tanner, who was in Orlando for Bear Bus. He was one of our DJs,
Hmm.
and I think I use it as a promo picture. He's got this Chicago Cubs hat that has bear that he put bear ears on,
Hmm.
and I threatened to steal it from him while he was at Bear Bust. So when I see like the hats that you make, I'm like,
Hmm.
oh well, you know what? Because
Now
I'm
you can
not,
get it
I'm
customized.
right. I'm not crafty enough to do this. So I'm like, wait a minute. Can we do a pink hat with black ears?
Oh, of course.
Because pink and black is my aesthetic. It's what I live for. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, maybe get a couple more tips from some digital game nights, and I might have to put an order in.
Right,
So,
right.
so what plans? And I know all of this is still really new, but if you were to have like just any like carte blanche to kind
Hmm.
of grow this and build this into anything that you want, what
Sure.
would be the next things, or even kind of what are you thinking on um, building this and like expanding into and making in the future?
Sure. So I've been partnering up with another close friend of mine. I don't. I hope he's okay if I mention his name, but Dan Williams. Everyone knows Dan, Creative Dan. He's the one that has. He's actually the one that designed my logo with the scissors, and I just asked him really quick. I was like, "Hey, look, I need your help. I have no idea what I'm doing. I need a logo." And literally 20 minutes later, throws me this, and I was like, I can't do that. I wish I could do that. But him and I have partnered with a couple of ideas. He said he would help me kind of look at making other fun stuff like a possible simple design harness, or maybe some like swim trunks, or like fun maybe jocks, or thongs, or I don't know, just like a little bit of what what my community would be looking for, like and I say that in my Etsy too, that my items are very geared to LGBTQ community, but it's of course open to everybody. But if anyone is confused as to, I mean, why are you selling like bear hat ears? Like I was like, well, I'm very well known and know a lot of bears in my community, and I love my bears, and some of my best friends are bears. So like I want to be able to showcase and show them off. They don't get enough love sometimes, so let's show them off and make them look a little cuter. Um, but as far as just like growing my little side biz, um, I'd like to learn a couple more things, and hopefully, well, because now that I've gone back into work, and they have us a little bit busier than normal because we've lost so many people in my area. Hopefully, I'll be able to find like a balance with both, and I can grow my Etsy, because if you notice on my Etsy, it's very scarce. Like it's very limited items right now. Like right now, you can only see the mask and you can only see buttons. I also bought a button maker too, because the gays like buttons. Everyone likes buttons, but most of the things you'd see that I can make is on my Instagram. But hopefully down the road, I can grow my Etsy, maybe even pull in a couple of people and I show them how I make the things that I make, and expand that, and be able to showcase it in more of the like pride events, or gay days. And I mean, who knows, maybe I could sell them in the theme parks. People do that. They come up with designs, and they come up with fans pins and magnets, and they manage to sell them in the parks. That would be a really great goal of mine. I know that's very down the road, and it would take a lot of time and a lot of balance in it all, but that would be a really nice goal of mine. I don't know how far I would like to grow it, um, because I don't know too much of the business aspect of it all. And I have a lot of friends that backed me up with business. There was one friend that um, knows everything about Etsy and selling things and printing out labels, and then I have another friend who is creative and knows how to make things and design things, and I have another person who loves giving me shout outs and everything and everywhere. Beyoncé, I mean, she is again my number one fan. She talks about me every chance and opportunity that she can, and I literally would not be where I'm at with my little side biz if it wasn't for her. So maybe she'll gear me, like guide me in the right direction for it. Like, go do this, go make that. So, yeah.
But that's honestly, that's sometimes the best thing though. Is I mean, it's tough to build a business on your own.
Mhm.
You a lot of times it's honestly really difficult to do
Yeah.
it. So
Oh, yeah.
to have other people that you can kind of you can fall back on, or that can be a part of it and grow with you and with the business. It's definitely it's nothing to to be ashamed about, and that's how bigger things happen.
Sure.
So I love the fact that you're working with Dan. Dan is a sweetheart. Dan actually did our We Bears Care, my nonprofit's logo as well. So I love him to death. So we got Spry Guy 21 over on the YouTube side watching, asking about making a full body fursuit. Do you think that's something that, I mean, obviously not that you would just whip it up right this second, but do you think that's something that that you might be able to tackle?
So that's not the first time I've been asked that, and it's something that I have done a lot of research on, and I'm thinking yes and no. Right now, could I whip it out? No. I mean, like, it's not something that would happen overnight. I have all the logistics to it. I know the tools that I need. I have all the tools actually to make a fursuit, but it requires a lot of fur, a lot of duct tape, and it requires a lot of patience. And it's actually, in some cases, also it's a two-person job for certain parts of it. But it would probably, like, if I were to dedicate most of my time to just that, I could probably make one within like 3 weeks to a month. Like one, like, just like, if I'm talking about just the bodysuit, not the paws, not the headpiece, not the feet, just the bodysuit, I could come up with that within 3 weeks to like a month. Everything else would probably, included into that, would probably take me about 2 to 3 months. It is a project I would love to tackle, but it's not an easy project. So I'm going to go with a maybe for now.
Well, Spry Guy 21, you can always send an email to designsbyhorus@outlook.com.
Sure.
And possibly get that process started. Just know that, obviously it's not going to be like Amazon and get 2-day shipping on that.
Right.
It's not coming in the mail that quickly. It doesn't happen that way. Now I feel like a bad host. I had something right at the top of my head that I was like, okay, I'm going to say this, and then I just completely forgot. Live theater, everybody.
Oh, it happens.
I think that gets a lot of the info out there. And so as a recap for all of you out there watching, don't forget you can go to etsy.com/shop/designs by Horus. Or if maybe Etsy is one of your favorites, bookmarked favorites, just search Designs by Horus. You can follow on Instagram at designs.by.horus. And then if you have questions, if you want to find out pricing, you want to find out color combinations, if there's things that he's able to do, maybe something that you don't see yet that you'd be interested in finding out the details and maybe some specifics, email designsbyhorus@outlook.com. Is there anything else that you want to share with the viewers?
Yeah. So like you mentioned, so right now, if you're looking for the pieces to like the hats and the paws, you're not going to find those on my Etsy right now. I've moved them all to my Instagram because what I was showcasing, I actually don't have any more of the colored fur, and people were getting kind of confused as to, can you make this, or do you have this? Is it ready to be shipped out? So right now, if you are looking for something in particular, Instagram's the best place to just see what I have, and then contact me on Facebook or email me with designsbyhorus@outlook.com, or you can message me on Instagram as well. There's a great example. And another fun thing that right there with the flannel, the red and black flannel, I came up with a really cool design for beards. So if you have a really long beard, this actually protects you all the way down your neck and actually a little bit past your neck too. So you don't, I know a lot of friends that had to trim their beards because they wanted to feel safe with their masks, but I came up with that. That's only an additional $5 if you wanted to do a beard mask.
Oh, I love this material. That's such a cute design.
Yeah, I still have it. It's available.
Oh, I love it. All these fantastic little patterns and whatnot. Oh, yes. All the little pigs. I live Such cute designs. And this is all right. I'm not mad about this either. Hi there.
That's a friend of mine, Derek, and Tyler, of course.
Oh, that
There,
old whore again.
yeah.
I don't
um,
know. We love Tyler. Well, if you wanna give him my phone number, by all means, feel free. Just saying. No, these are fantastic. And oh, that's the fabric you were talking about. I
yeah,
love
yeah. It's like
it.
cute little has little bones and a little heart and paws.
Oh, I love it. And now I'm seeing this. We may have to talk about some pink and black ears.
Yeah,
Just saying. Ideas. But this is the Instagram. This is designs by Horus. There we go.
yeah.
You see it
Someone
at
already
the.
had a Designs by Horus Instagram, so I was like, fine, I'll add dots to it.
I mean, I'm not mad about it. And I just realized I wasn't following, so now I am.
Oh, thank you.
Because that looks bad when all of a sudden I'm like, oops, sorry.
It's okay.
Here's the page, but by the way,
It's
I
still new.
forgot.
I only have like 15 followers on there.
Well, now you're up to 16. So,
I
and I'll go
appreciate
follow.
that.
I've got like 5 accounts, so I'll go ahead and I'll follow with everything else. And then maybe we can get you out for Bear Bust.
Yeah.
Obviously, making on site is not going to be a thing, but bring some samples, bring some of the materials,
Right.
and you can take some orders and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah. I'm even considering or thinking about going for Mr. Bear Bus.
Yes,
We
I
shall
love
see.
it.
So I
Listen,
think like all those bears that want to go out there and compete against us, remember you're going after someone who can make bear paws. Maybe you want to, team up and I'll hook you up.
right. Step your game up. Bring your breast look. Woo! Well, that I don't want to keep you for too long, so I definitely appreciate it. We'll go through this one more time. So Etsy.com/shop/designs by Horus, Instagram designs.by.horus, and if you have questions or you're interested in if you've gone to the Instagram and you're like, hey, I like a couple of these things, either message on Instagram or send an email to Designs by Horus. If you don't see it, you never know. If you don't ask, he might be able to make it for you.
Mm-hmm.
So shoot Horus an email, and then once everything is back up and open and safe.
Safe. We'll have to
Looking at
grab a
everybody.
drink when you come and visit us.
Oh, I know. Please, I saw a friend today who owns a shop up here in Chicago, Men's Room, the Chicago branch of it, and it was like the first time I'd seen a friend that I've known since before COVID, like a pre-COVID friend.
Sure.
I haven't seen anybody since, I haven't made any new friends since, but I have one friend who I hang out with like every other week, and it's been like 3 weeks since I've seen him. But it was nice to actually go and see somebody that I knew that I've known for a while, and like actually go and see a friendly face. And against most CDC guidelines, we actually hugged. So, which it was such instinct, and like I messaged him afterwards because I got some stuff from his store, and he's like I'm sorry about the hug. He's like it's weird times. I should have asked, and I was like, trust me, I get it. I was like that's the first hug I've had in weeks, and I'm like it's so nice. So
Yeah.
it's great to kind of to get those to have those kind of connections. But it's been delightful getting to chat with you. Continue on with all this great work with your new side hustle.
Sure.
Anytime that you've got something that you want promoted or you're doing, let me know. We can do another one of these chats. I'll post it on the Bears in the City stuff. Like,
Sure.
bravo to you for
Thanks so much.
turning a shitty situation into one that's at least a little bit better
Right.
for you and for other people that are now being made happy by getting these wonderful creations. So
Thanks so much.
absolutely, thank you for.
I really appreciate it, Pat.
Of course.
And this was a really great way to finally discuss it and talk about it, because I've had this business going on for a little bit and I haven't gotten a chance to really talk about it. So I really appreciate it, and thanks so much again to Jaden and everyone else who's been nothing but great support. Again, like how you said, I hope everyone supports their local small businesses. We're all going through a lot of tough times, but be each other's cape. Let's be each other's superheroes. Help each other out where we can. But again, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for having me, Pat.
Absolutely. Anything you ever need, just give a shout, and that's what we're here for. So everybody watching, thank you. We appreciate you hanging out with us for another Small Business Spotlight. I'll be back on Monday for Digital Game Night, our Monday edition. Wednesday night, we have our Wednesday edition of Digital Game Night. Big shout out to our sponsors, Men's Room Chicago, Bearskin, Addison Taylor at theaddisontaylor.com, and Scott Benson, Orlando Realtor with Greenhouse Realty. Check out scottytherealtor.com, bearskin.com, shopthemensroom.com. Lots of just great stuff out there. Thank you to everybody for watching, and we'll catch you next time. Until then, be safe, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thanks. Bye, guys. Thanks for watching.